Hello to all you beautiful people of the internet, and welcome to my first Final Destination video. I will now be doing Final Destination videos as well as Walking Dead. I'm going to take a break from Walking Dead for a little bit, but I will get back to it soon because I'm running out of ideas for The Walking Dead. If you have any ideas what I could do for The Walking Dead, any maybe explaining videos or my thoughts on things or what if scenarios, let me know and I'll do them. But today we're going to be looking at the Final Destination deaths. Final Destination has like big over the top deaths in a lot of in the whole franchise, except of course for the first one, because the first one is always quite a bit tame. So this is a tier list made by Cody Leach. Go check him out in the link in the description down below. Great guy. And Death's magnum opus is the best one so far. The ultimate best. Fade to Black it's effective enough. It's still memorable. Another one, Bites the Dust, means it was a decent kill, but not so much to be excited about. Don't Fear the Reaper means it's not good, but it's also it's good enough to be like, yeah, that's nice. And A Fate Worse Than Death means the death was dog shit. So I'm going to be basing this on a few categories. One, how cool, how like bloody and like horrifying the kill is. Two, how creative the kill is. And three, personally, how much it traumatized me. This will just to be clarified, I think, yeah, it'll just be the deaths that are doing separate, so it's no premonition deaths. That will be a different video. So without further ado, I'm going to see if I can get this done in order. So first, we've got Todd's final shower. So going to the first film first. So Todd is the first one to die, and we got this build up of like the toilet cracks, and then we see the water trickle along to Todd. He's shaving. He cuts his neck for some reason. I still don't get that scene. Plugs in the radio, plays Rocky Mountain High as he's trimming his nose hair. Then he pulls the radio out, and as soon as he gets to pick up his clothes, because he slips on the water, the wire goes around him, and it's quite a drawn out death. So you can see the rope tightening around his neck, his eyes going red. Ooh, and he dies. But this is the only time this happens in this, and I am so fucking confused as to why. The water trickles back. Death is basically cleaning up his crime scene, and that's it. The next Final Destination film that comes out, we need to know if that happens again or why that happened. A lot of things we need to know. So in terms of Todd, it's not that creative, really. I mean, they've just been strangled by the wire. Creativity, if you include the build-up with it, I'm going to include the build with it. With the build-up, it was tense in most parts. Did it traumatize me? Not a lot, but it was definitely the first time for me to go, yep, we're not safe. So I'm going to put it in another one bites the dust. It's still a good kill, but it's not that great either. Then we've got Terry catches a bus. So as soon as Terry walks onto the crosswalk, and she tells Alex, and she tells Carter, if you're gonna spend the rest of your life beating the shit out of Alex every time you see him, then you could just drop fucking dead. And the bus just whams into her, and I was just screaming in terror. Everyone kept running into the living room thinking there was bloody murder. My God, My God, that was so fast. I'm gonna have to put that one. I think you all know by this. It has to go in Death Magnum Opus. It traumatized me It traumatized me for like 3 days. Every time I went to go out, I always checked around like 1 million times to make sure the bus was not coming for me. My God. It's just the way it's set up. There's no music, and all of a sudden, just wham! Jesus Christ. Then we've got Miss Luton knifed. Miss Luton, I thought she was one of the sweet characters in the first movie. She was scared of Alex, but it was understandable as to why. Um, as soon as she's making some tea, she freaks out over the mug and chucks it. But she's telling herself it's just a good mug, and pretty soon you'll be gone. She takes out some vodka, pours it into the drink. The mug cracks. As she's drinking it, she's not noticing that it's trickling all around the floor. Then, as soon as she gets to the computer, she hovers over it. I think she's like trying to get something. It drips into the computer, makes it fizz up, and it explodes. A shard gets into Miss Luton's neck. She's running over as fire is trailing behind her. Then there's a big explosion with the vodka bottle, which is a little bit unrealistic to me, but it's Final Destination. Who cares? Then Alex rushes in. Alex rushes to go in. Miss Luton pulls a rag down, which was covering a knife set. The knife protrudes into her chest. She's still alive for the most part. Alex gets in and he runs over to try and help her. But then a shelf knocks down and he focuses on that while another explosion happens, pushing a chair onto the knife, which digs it deeper into Miss Luton. Alex pulls the knife out stupidly, drops the knife, runs out, and the house explodes as Billy Hitchcock sees the house explode. With all that, I'm gonna put this one in. I'm gonna put it in Another One Bites the Dust. It's not as intense as Todd's death, but it certainly was the one that made me feel bad for her because like she was just about to leave, and Death was like, nope, fuck you. Bless her. Then we've got Billy loses his head. So after Alex saved Carter from a moving train, Billy is on a big rant at Carter saying, you're next, and you're taking me with you." And then a piece of metal shrapnel from the wrecked car flies and cuts Billy's head in half. I knew that Billy was going to be next as soon as he was standing in front of the train. I was like, oh God, he's going to get it. And then just have a full-on decapitation. I was like, Jesus Christ, look at that. So, with all that, I'm going to put him in Don't Fear the Reaper. Because while, yes, the death was like, wow, that happened, there wasn't really much build-up to it. And I was kind of disappointed. I love build-up. I love that so much in this franchise. But then they were like, nah, not really. Then we've got Carter Sees a Sign. So at the end of the movie, Alex is still next. As soon as the sign is coming to swing down on him, Carter pushes him out the way and saves his life, intervened. Then Carter tells Alex, I told you were next. Then Alex says, it just skipped me. So then Carter asks, so who's next? I knew as soon as he said, told you were next, I knew he was dead. He was a dead man. Then the sign comes swinging down. Fade to black. We fade to black. No, we don't fade to black. We cut to black. But we do hear the impact. So with all that, with everything that happened in it, looking into the build-up and how much did it really traumatize me? No, but hearing it did make me go, "Oh, that was awesome." I wish I could have seen it. Wish I could have fucking seen it. So with that, I'm gonna put it in Don't Fear the Reaper. I'll put it in front of Billy because because his did have build up. It did lead up to that big moment, and I love that as it swung forward, it came back. It came back to hit Carter. Carter. Death was petty. Death so petty. And then we get the death between Final Destination 1 and 2. A fucking brick. So, it was reported in a news article that Alex was killed by a fucking brick. Are you fucking kidding me? Honestly, when I saw that, I was pissed off. I was so angry. I was so angry. I couldn't believe what I was actually seeing. You know where this is going. A fate worse than death. You mean to tell me he's the premonition guy, but he doesn't see a falling fucking brick? Hello? Now we're on to Final Destination 2, and this is the one where it gets a little bit more bloodier. So first we have Evan slips up. So in his death scene, his hand gets caught into the garbage disposal, and he's trying to pull it out. Pulling out, his food catches fire. Everything. Then he tries to put it out with a cloth. Then he sets his whole apartment on fire. He rushes out. I was actually surprised he got out of the bloody apartment. I was like, geez, he survived. No, because as soon as he gets off the ladder and slips on the spaghetti he threw out earlier, the ladder comes down, it stops, and it makes us think, oh, okay, he's okay. Nope, slam right into the eyes. It did make me jump. It honestly made me jump, and it is pretty bloody. And I loved that in this one. You are looking at every possible thing that could kill him. You're always on the edge of your seat, and I loved that. Did it traumatize me enough? Not really, but it's still a great build up and kill. So I'm going to put that in Fade to Black. It's definitely memorable. Next one is Tim has some pain. So Tim is a teenager. It was originally going to be a little boy, but then they changed it to a teenager, and so they still have the little boy element in it. I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? Unless he's autistic, please don't do that. I'm autistic, okay? So the whole dentist sequence is absolutely makes my body crawl. Because every time I see it, even though after I've seen it the first time, when I first saw it the first time, I'm just thinking, oh god, the drill's gonna go right through his brain. The oxygen tanks are gonna blow up. The pigeons are gonna peck him to death. The fish is gonna choke him. Nope. Turns out nothing happens in there. But as soon as he walks out, those pigeons come back. He chases the pigeons, but the pigeon's like a toddler, and then the window pane comes right down and folds that boy in half. And honestly, I was like, wow, they killed a kid. They killed a bloody kid. So, with all that in mind, I'm going to put this in Fade to Black. I'm actually going to put it in front of Evan, because Evans is like, oh, what's going to kill him and such. The dentist bit, you're just crawling in your body. You're just like waiting for it to bloody happen, but it's not letting you know until it gets to the very end. Then we get Nora gets hooked. And again, Nora was one of those sweet characters that like, yeah, she's scared, but you can understand why. So when Rory sees there's a man with hooks in an elevator, Nora is with Eugene, and behind her is a man with hooks. Her head gets caught in it. She gets trapped between the elevator doors. Her head is on one side, her body is in the other. As soon as it's going up, there is Eugene and the old man pulling her head, while there's Clea and Kat pulling her body down. So they're not realizing that they're actually making it worse. But as soon as she said, "I don't want to die," two things. One, I was like, "Oh, please spare her. She didn't deserve this." And then she gets her head cut off, and I was just like, "Why would you do that to a sweet woman?" And trust me, one of my big fears are elevators, and that did not help. So with that, Nora goes in Death's magnum opus. It's not as like surprising as like the Terry death. The Terry death is still reigning at the top. Then we get Kat pipes down. So as Kat is trapped in her car, there is a rescue worker who's trying to help her. To help her, she tells him, "Can you turn that down, please?" And he goes, "Sure, I'll just put it on quiet mode." And she tells him that will be good. Is good. I only got like one chuckle. I was like, huh. And then he slams it into the car. The airbag pops out. And then Kat slams her head through the PVC pipe. I honestly, that was a great shocker. I actually liked that very much. As soon as the airbag popped out, I knew instantly, oh god, what happened to her? So with that, I'm gonna put it in fade to black. It's not as good as the others, but it's still like whole lot of memorable, whole lot of blood, whole lot of shock. Yeah, but there was no like other big build up to it. Then we've got Rory's last hit. So Rory is a drug addict in the film. As soon as Kat died, she dropped the cigarette, which rolls down a pipe because a news van was leaking their fuel. It lights up, blows up the van, stops Officer Burke from trying to help the others, and then a barbed fence trisects Rory in three, and he is he's pull on in three. Honestly, it did make me gag a little bit when I saw the insides, and I was like, oh, yeah, I almost threw up at that. But I did like his last moment where he told him, please make sure you take away everything that will break my mother's heart. But with that, in today's standards, you can see like the CGI is a little bit, but still, it's a great kill. So I'm gonna put it in fade to black. It's definitely better than Kat's death. Then we get Eugene and Clea roasted, and yes, I do believe that these are the same. You can't separate them. All right. Let's start with Eugene first. So Eugene, he's the guy that's skeptical about all. Then he's trying to go crazy. He's trying to unalive himself, but we see that death isn't allowing that, saying, "Hey, you will die when I let you die." Then he gets impaled by a log, but he still survives. Taken to the hospital. There's a lot of things that are trying to like make him not breathe. Like the air is being cut. Everything is going wrong that shouldn't go wrong. Since Isabella has her baby, everything seems fine until Clea, who was the big character number one, was clearly a big fuck you to this character, opens the door, and boom, both of them explode in a fiery explosion. So with this, I'm going to put this in a fate worse than death. For the death of for Eugene, it was pretty lame. For Clea, what the fuck were they thinking? And then we get to the last death of number 2, which is Brian's barbecue. So during the car accident, A news van almost hit Brian, but Rory saved him at the last minute, which put him on death's list. So as soon as Brian approached the barbecue and they told them that, hey, Rory saved Brian's life, both Kimberly and Burke look at Brian, and then as soon as they look at him, the barbecue explodes. His mother screams in hysterics. The arm comedically falls on the plate, and the mother is petrified. That did get a good chuckle out of me a little bit. And all that, was it really something big? No, but it definitely showed that, hey, even if you're not part of the premonition, you still get saved. I'll still fuck you up. So I'm gonna put it in Don't Fear the Reaper. I wouldn't say it's better than the others, but it's definitely in there. Then we've got to number 3. Then we get Ashley and Aisling get tanned. Now this one was horrifying. Because as soon as they strip nude and get into the tanning beds, and listen to Love Roller Coaster, I do actually like that song. Everything goes wrong. The water from the drink drips into the voltage thing, and then it goes off, malfunctions. A shelf drops and locks both the women in, which is terrifying, and then they are burnt alive to a crisp. As soon as they cut from the 2 tanning beds to 2 graves, I looked at that and I thought, oh, you guys are fucking wrong for that. You guys are wrong for that. With this one, it's Death's magnum opus. I will say it is better than the others. That one is top number 1 because it is horrifying. Because yeah, they're like the they look like the Mean Girls. They're not really Mean Girls because they do try and cheer up Wendy after everything that happened. So I did like that little bit there. But other than that, they get burned. Then we get Frankie gets a fan. Frankie is the pervert in the thing, and you don't mind that he dies. Soon as a white van comes down and crashes into Wendy's and Kevin's car, they manage to get out eventually in the end. The ancient fan comes out and cuts into Frankie's head quite a bit, and then just for comedic effect, it goes off one more time before it cuts out his brains. Yeah, as soon as Frankie lifted up his middle finger, you could tell who that was. So with that, I'm gonna say this one is Another One Bites the Dust, because again, it's not as heartbreaking as Miss Lewin's. It's not as intense as Todd's death, but it certainly gets the job done of taking care of that character. Like, hey, do I like this character? Here you go. This is fucking death. Then we get Lewis gets pumped, and this is another asshole character that you don't mind dying. So in the gym, there's a lot of things you're looking around that could possibly kill him. A bear claw, weights, the water cooler, the swords. As soon as Lewis is pumping it up, pulling down the weights, the sword cuts the wires, and Lewis like, I win, baby, yeah, and then the weights just come down and splatter his head. That shocked me quite a lot. I was like, oh, did he not die? Did the swords not kill him? I thought as soon as the swords came down, he pumped the weights one more time. I thought his body was actually going to split open, or his head would have split open, but no, the weights came down and crushed him. Replaying that scene every time that the weights come down and crush his head with a close-up, I can see a lot of CG blood in that, but everything else with the build-up, it's quite intense. I would say this one is Another One Bites the Dust, and I'd say it's better than Frankie's death, but it's no better than Miss Luton's death. Then we've got Erin Gets Nailed. So in the warehouse shop, there is loads of things that could kill you in there. So when Erin when Ian is saved by Wendy from some fallen picket wood, Erin slides back into a nail gun, and about like 12 or 13 nails get shot into her face. And the little bit at the end where she's twitching is like really horrifying. There's a lot of build up in it with the forklift, the shelves, everything. It's so like crazy, because like a Home Depot warehouse is the worst place you could be in a Final Destination movie. So with all that, I would say this is a Fade to Black, and I would definitely say it is better than Rory's death. But I don't think it's is it any better than? Yeah, I'd say it's better than Evan's death as well. Because again, while Tim's death is like you're scrunching up, you're worrying what's going to happen. With Erin's death, you are looking everywhere in the Home Depot. You are looking everywhere to see that could kill him, that could kill him, that could kill him, that could kill him, and you are panicking. Then we've got Perry Flagpole. So as soon as Wendy saved Julie's life, she asks her, "Who was sitting next to you on the coaster? They're next." As soon as they look at Perry. Perry, the horse gets scared. The flag flies and it impales her through the chest. Nothing big. Didn't really care. So this one goes, and Another One Bites the Dust. But it's no worse than the others. Oh, I should actually put these here. Then we've got Ian Pop the Cherry. So after everyone was saved, Wendy is the next one. And she thinks Ian, who arrived at the fair, she thinks he's the one that causes her death. As soon as fireworks shoot at them, they miss Ian. They hit the cherry picker. The cherry picker falls and splats on him, and you can just see his finger twitching with the middle finger up. You could definitely tell that's definitely in character, but it's a little bit like what effects were you going for? So with this one, I would say Don't Fear the Reaper. Would we say no? It's not better. It's no better. Then we get to the middle child of this franchise, the dog shit that we all know. The Final Destination, also known as Final Destination 4. So, first one is Carter Toes the Line. So Carter gets caught. So after Carter, he's the racist character, attempts to do racist things. The truck plays Why Can't We Be Friends as Carter's trying to get his truck. The hook catches his leg, and it drags him across the road. 1 second, guys. I'm going to put the fan on because it is boiling. So if you hear, it's my fan, guys. I'm sorry, I have to. Anyways, back to it. So as Carter's going, why can't we? So our song is going, why can't we be friends? And it's dragging him, and it's setting a lot of things on fire. The truck explodes. His head flies on the lawn. It didn't look great. It was a little bit funny. So I would put this in Don't Fear the Reaper. I wouldn't say it's better than Ian's death though. Next we got Samantha Keeps Her Eye on the Rock. So in the hair salon bit, there's a lot of things that could kill her, and it was great, like tightening fist moments. were you guessing what could kill her? Could it be the air the hairspray? Could it be the fan? Could it be the scissors? What could be killing her? Again, nothing in there. And then as soon as she says, "I've got my eye on you too," which a 12-year-old could write that, she turns around, a lawnmower hits a rock, and it smacks into her eye. With all that, all of it is pretty much on the nose. You can pretty much tell where it's going. You knew what was going to happen, so I'm going to have to put this one in a fate worse than death. Wouldn't say it's any worse than Claire and Eugene's, but it's not worse than Alex's death, but it's no better than Eugene and Claire's. Then we've got Andy's on the fence. Andy's the mechanic. They've gone there to warn him, saying that death is coming for them. As soon as a van is almost hits him, he goes, "I guess it's not my turn to die. You'll be safe." A propane tank pushes him into the fence. Very, very cartoony. Very, very much you can see the CGI. It was all for 3D effects, and I was just thinking, you can just take them out in the DVD version. It was creative, but not that much convincing. So I'd put this one in Don't Fear the Reaper. I would say it is better than the Ian Pops the Cherry one. Then next, we have Hunt loses his shit. Figuratively and literally. Oh my god, that scene. Hunt is the arsehole character in this. And as soon as Hunt gets stuck in the drain as he's looking for his lucky coin, it's sucking him out. It's sucking out his organs. I think there was a news report where someone got their intestines sucked out their arse because of a powerful drain. And as soon as the pipes explode, you can see everything that happens. Honestly, that did actually traumatize me. I never went to a swimming pool ever again, and I never will. And plus, I can't swim anyways. But I'd love to get in the water, but now I don't want to. So, I am going to put this one in Death's magnum opus. I wouldn't say it's better than the others, but it's definitely in the top there. Then we've got Jonathan's Sponge Bath. So Jonathan is a cowboy in the movie. Apparently because he didn't move, he survived the whole thing. Then we get the therapy bath that is leaking through the ceiling. He gets off the bed. As soon as Nick and George see him, the bath falls and crushes him. That was it. It was just another thing to add to the kills, I guess. Wasn't really anything special or big. So I will put this in a fate worse than death. It's not worse than Alex, but it's definitely worse than Samantha's. Then we've got George's emergency. So George was the security guard at the racetrack. He's been trying to understand what's been going on and such. As soon as they exit the hospital and he's telling him about deja vu, the ambulance smacks into him. That turns out to be premonition, but after the premonition, it still happens and he still dies. It was a big kill that we all saw coming, but we didn't get to see it in the end. So I am going to say this is one of the worst ones so far. Or fate worse than death. Then we have Death Always Wins. So at the end of the movie, a truck comes into the cafe and crushes them all in X-ray vision. I do like the creativity of going for the X-ray vision, but after that, what was the point? Like, really, what was the fucking point? It was all lame and such, so I would say this is worse than Jonathan's Sponge Bath. Then we get to number 5 now. Number 5. So, Candace sets the bar. So Candace is in the gymnastics place, and everything is so tense. Do you think the water could electrocute her? Do you think she's going to step on a nail that's on a beam? But as soon as she gets onto the bars and another girl steps on the nail, oh my god, God, oh, I felt phantom pain in my foot when I saw that. Um, she falls into the powder. It blows into Candace's face. She lets go, and her body snaps. And oh my god! And it shows you her body twitch a little bit because you could see what happens afterwards. Oh my god, that death was crazy. This one goes in Death Magnum Opus. It's not better than Terry's, but it is better than Nora's. Next, we've got Isaac's happy ending. Isaac is the asshole character in this. So he goes to a spa to try and purr on the ladies. He doesn't get what he wants, but he gets acupunctures in him. There's a fire going on. The bed breaks and he falls onto the acupunctures, but they don't kill him. He scales back from a fire that chased him, and then a Buddha statue he made fun of falls on his face and splats his head. It was a yay moment with me, but like I could see that the Buddha statue was going to have a part in his death, because as soon as he insulted him, it's like, oh yeah, that thing's going to kill him. So, but it is quite bloody and such, so I'd say this one is Another One Bites the Dust. It's definitely better than Frankie's death. Yeah. And the next one is Olivia's Laser Leap. And this one, while she was a little bit of a mean girl, you could tell that she was actually also quite sweet as well. She goes into the LASIK eye surgery to get to see again. The laser cuts into her eye, cuts into her hand. She gets out, but it doesn't stop there for her. So as soon as Sam and Marley come in, she trips over the bear and falls out the window, lands in the car, falls on the floor, and her eyeball pops out. And just to add insult to injury, the car runs over the eye. I did throw up. I threw up in there. It was horrifying. And because of me, because I have to wear glasses and such, for me, this goes at the top. Because my God, it was horrifying. It was horrifying indeed. Next, we have Roy's on the Hook. So Roy is this worker who just hates everything. Nathan pushes him in the way. That was supposed to be his death, but then the hook catches Roy in the head. You think he's safe, but then you see the blood drip, and you're like, "Oh great, how did he die?" And then the hook impaled his head, and then a few seconds later, it just pops right through his head. That it was okay, but it was like the first indication of, oh, he took his life, but he did. But it turns out, not very long, was it? Roy's, I would say, it's not worse than Jonathan's, but definitely worse than Samantha's. I feel like the bottom one's going to be a lot. Next, we've got a wrench in Dennis's plan. So this was another throwaway kill that they just added. So as soon as they're asking like who's next on the list to die, Dennis comes in and is like, what the fuck's going on? A spanner flies into his head. I'm glad that we got to see the aftermath, because if you look at it, it's pretty gnarly, quite practical with that, and I'm actually very happy with that. Obviously, the spanner flying wasn't practical, but you could see the practical effects in it afterwards, and I was like really impressed with that. But just with all that, nothing huge, but I would say this is Don't Fear the Reaper. I'll say it's definitely better than Ian's. Then we've got Jim Takes His Shot. This was a detective in the movie. He goes into the restaurant to find out what's going on, and then Pierre just shoots him. This is now the worst one. It was awful. Then we've got Rotisserie Peter, and in the restaurant, Peter is he's lost it. He doesn't think Molly deserves to live, so he wants to take her life. So as soon as that happens, and he tries to kill Molly, Sam just skewers him with a what's it called? A rotisserie fork? Is it? I can't remember what it's called, but he gets skewered by that. It's definitely bloody. It's not that creative, but he got the job done. I would say this one is Another One Bites the Dust. It's not better than Frankie's, I will say that. Then we've got Flight 180. So this is Sam, Molly, and Nathan all together. So the big twist at the end is that this is actually a prequel to the first movie. I loved that. So let's start with Molly first, because Molly dies first in the last bit of the movie. So Molly flies out of the plane, and she gets bisected by the back wing of the plane. That was it was okay. Then Sam gets burned up. It's burned up. He hears the kid shouting, "Get off the plane! You're all gonna die!" He's just like nonchalant about that. Like, oh well, wonder what his problem is. Like, motherfucker, you've seen the signs everywhere. So he could just get burned up, and imagine it wasn't slow. Then Nathan in a bar, he finds out from a coworker that Roy had a blood vessel in his head that could pop any moment. As soon as Nathan's like, oh shit, the wheel comes down and crushes him, with the arm flying. With all that, I would say this one is Another One Bites the Dust. I would say it's better than Miss Luton's, because like, it's like you were just surprised that, oh wow, this is a prequel. I was actually cheering for this one. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And then we've got the latest one, Father's Nation Bloodlines. This film is the one that has now told me to never go into elevators ever again, because it did the one thing that I am always afraid of elevators: getting trapped between the doors and being split in half. I was screaming in fear of that. So the whole premonition, I was screaming, crying. As soon as it was all over, I was just like, thank God. But I am never getting in an elevator ever again. Never. I'll just take the stairs. No stairs? That's fine. I'll just Mission Impossible it down the fucking window. Jesus Christ. So the first one is Death Finishes Iris. So Iris was the one that had the premonition back in 1969. As soon as her granddaughter comes in and she tells them I've been dreaming about the Skyview, she knows that she must pass on the baton. So she gives Stephanie, who's not believing it, the book, and she tells him to stand back. Seeing is believing. The weather vane falls on the propane, shoots it through her mouth, and my God, it was very CG, you could tell, but it was quite shocking. So I'd say this one is Don't Fear the Reaper. I would say it's better than Brian's death. Then we've got Howard Gets Mulched, and Howard was one of the sweet characters in this one. He was very sweet. As soon as they got to the barbecue scene, and he was giving Darlene the key, I could tell, oh God, they're gonna kill him. Please don't kill him, he's so sweet. And they kill him the worst way possible. He steps on a shard of glass, falls over, the lawnmower gets set off, and it shreds his face into strawberry jello. And my God, I was so sad about that. And I loved in the first bit as well, when you first see him, that it lingers on the lawnmower as he turns it off, because you know that's going to come into play. So I would say this one is a Fade to Black, and I would say it's better than Tim's. I would say it. So Tim was a little bit of an asshole. Howard was just the sweetest character. Next we've got Julia Gets Trashed. And my God, I know a lot of people saying like this is like CGI and such, and watching it back now, I can see I can see where the CGI comes in. But when I first watched it, I thought it actually happened. I thought she actually got killed by the garbage truck. It was that effective. But my God, that was awful. That was absolutely horrible. This one goes in the magnum opus. And I would say it's the best kill so far. Yeah, complaining about the CGI and such, but I could tell that was goddamn awful. Then we got Eric and Bobby's MRI. This is one of the most memorable scenes that everyone talks about. For me, I'm going to be honest, it didn't traumatize me. It didn't. It did make me feel a little bit sick, but that was it. Because as soon as the piercings ripped off his ears, his nose, his nipples, soon as it was about to rip off his Prince Albert, oh, I was about to look away, but glad they didn't show anything. So the wheelchair slams into him, and it protrudes through his body. All the metal bars and such. Then just to top it all off, the spring that was set off earlier flies through the vending machine and hits Barbie in the head, and it's still spinning in there. So I would say this is a Fade to Black. And I would say it's better than Howard's, yeah. Sirloin Darlene, they were doing something really interesting with this. They were trying to build up this character development, but as soon as this lamppost falls on her and crushes her, I was like, what was that for? Well, that was rude. So with her, she gets a fate worse than death, but it's definitely not the worst of it all. And then we get the Stephanie and Charlie's death, which is known as the Log's Return. Everything setting up to it was like, you could tell it was pretty obvious that it's not over. But then when the logs come back and I look back to the film, I was like, oh my God, it was telling us the entire time. They weren't just references. They were telling us that the logs were coming into play. So while that was great, I wouldn't say it was big as well. I would say this one is another one bites the dust. And I would say this was the better Another One Bites the Dust one. So that's what I think. I think all this, the worst one was the agent's death, and then the best one was the garbage truck death. So thank you all very much for watching. If you like what you see, please have a like and subscribe. If you want me to create a travel channel and a video vlog series, get me to 50 subscribers and I will do that for you. You also follow my food channel and the link in the description down below, as well as a link to this tier list. And you can also this was made by Cody Leach. His link to his channel will be in the description down below while I try and speak English. Thank you all very much and have a good day, everybody.